Hi, friends. All right, this is gonna be an interesting one. The prep was even like, I feel like just a lot of energy moving. I feel like I just had a beautiful moment of gratitude. Um, and what I felt I needed to tell myself is that you are the person that I was looking for, that I was waiting for. The person I always wanted to be. And I feel like this current version of myself, not even including anything that's not perfect, because that's not what it's about. I'm finally not caring about the perfection. I'm loving who I am in the entirety and the wholeness of who I am. And I feel like you could be feeling some of this energy yourself. The channel song that I was getting right before this, I wanna be where the people are. I don't know all the lyrics. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. I wish I could be part of that world. I feel like as you're coming to this point, this culmination where you're realizing who you are, you're realizing how much of like the general population you aren't going to necessarily be able to fit in anymore. I feel like part of this evolution, this revelation, this stepping into who you are is you realize how different you are. And I feel like you're grieving this part of yourself that really wishes in some ways that you could adapt just so that you can have the same people around, just so that you don't have to feel so disconnected. It's almost, you can feel like you've been in hermit mode your entire life, but there's this new level where you're realizing like, yeah, like I'm not going to be able to fit in in the way that other people may want me to. And I feel like this could be, I mean, even with your family, like I can't keep faking the funk and operating within the generational trauma like it's normal. And so therefore you could be, like I said, feeling this sort of loss, but also this longing to want connection. A connection is going to come to you as you raise your vibration and you shift certain things. Yes, there are people that are going to fall off, but you also start to align yourself with people that are going to come in that are vibrating at the same level as you. None of us are meant to be alone. I have held strong to that concept for most of my life because it's just so disheartening when you do realize like this is another area or this is another group that I have to fake who I am, or I have to hide pieces of myself, and it just becomes very disheartening. But I know this for a fact that when you vibrate different, you attract different. And so why wouldn't that apply to the people around you and in your life that you're going to bring in? And I just feel like there just has to be a certain level of patience there. You have to let the energy settle in. It has to really intermingle. And you also have to adjust to this new reality that you're in, but you're not bound to be alone. You're not destined to be alone. There's nothing wrong with you. And no, you should not go back. Think about how hard it was to fight to get to this point. Do you really think you should go back? And who are you going back for? Are they worth going back for? Let's be honest. Were they really fulfilling you when you had a relationship with them? Whatever that relationship would look like. Going back is just another form of abandonment, because you're going to have to be who they wanted you to be. They're not going to accept who you are right now. They don't like it. It brings up too many shadows within themselves, too many aspects within themselves that they don't like and they're not comfortable with. So you stepping into that room, being this amazing, open, free individual that you are, is just going to remind them of the things that they deprived themselves of. And therefore, because they're still stuck in that cycle, however long it's going to take them to get out, if they ever get out, they're going to blame you for those feelings that they're feeling. They're not going to accept you because they don't even accept themselves. They're not able to accept themselves. Spirit, let this message find who it needs to find. Split the deck on the Sun and the Queen of Swords. What's funny about this Sun card is that I took my nephews to the park yesterday and there was 7 like hawks. No, they look like hawks. They were big birds and they were all cycling around each other, and there was something about the energy of the way that they were like dancing in this circle around each other, and it seems like they were kind of like I don't know. I'm interested to know what it is. Like they were just kind of stationary, just kind of hanging with the wind, just like you. I don't, something about the energy of all them together was just like very light, and it reminded me of this energy of the sun card, of this ancestral energy of those in your past, that have passed on, those in your lineage that are connected to you, celebrating this time. There's something that you've done, there's something that you broke through, there's some sort of chain that you've broken within this generational trauma, this generational curse is what I'm hearing. And there's something that you have triumphed over, and they're celebrating you right now. They're excited for this new chapter that you're walking into, and they are supporting you during this time. I feel like this is a time for you to celebrate. Celebration could be important for you, going out and doing something, especially connected to like that big moment of gratitude that I had before. I feel like you need to dedicate some time, some space, some days to really celebrating where you are at right in life right now. Because something that I've been getting a lot lately is when you don't make a big deal out of the small blessings, you're not going to attract the big ones. Gratitude, it kind of compounds like interest. Like when you, and I just feel like it's just like when you are so excited over the small things, like I've been getting like little things for free lately, like a sauce that they usually charge something for, they'll give it to me for free. And it's like I'll take a moment and say thank you, spirit, for anything that you're giving me that I'm not expecting to be given. It comes as a gift, and I'm noticing abundance in all of these different areas of my life. And I feel like gratitude could be very important for you right now, and really amplifying every small blessing that you're getting and putting it on this level as if it was you winning the lottery or you getting that new car or whatever it is, and just taking a moment to really bask in all of the progress that you've made over this period of time. I'm also getting this Queen of Sword energy, and this could be some of the energy that you have cut off. It could be a feminine energy, or a person that has more feminine energy within them, but I feel like there's this interesting balance with this person where they have this sort of, I've heard it being called the communal narcissist. But it's the communal narcissist is a hard narcissist to deal with, because it's not overt like the classic definition of a narcissist. The communal narcissist, what's difficult about it is if you are the person that is dealing with this communal narcissist, the people around them will likely not understand what you're saying. They will not see it, because this person can a lot of the time be, very giving, and behind closed doors you hear the conversations of them expecting things back from what they've given, whatever that is, validation, something, a literal return of what they've given. Like you hear the outside conversations, but when they're in front of people, everybody sees them as very generous, very giving, very kind. The Regina George scene when she tells the girl like, oh my gosh, I love your skirt, and then she turns around and tells her that is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen in my life. This is that sort of energy. And it's a very difficult one to deal with, because again, a lot of the times from the outside looking in, people will call you crazy, will tell you that you're being over dramatic, that this is not that, but this is that. And it's important for you to validate that this is that. The communal narcissist could be, I feel like, very angry, very irritated, very agitated with you right now. I feel like with this butterfly landing on this sword, they offer you this false sense of safety. They draw you in by, how they weaponize your insecurities. How they weaponize their love is what I'm hearing. But because of whatever the nature of this relationship is, they draw you in. But there's a very fine line that you have to kind of walk on, because one wrong move and they're going to cut you. One wrong thing that you said, it can be even a facial expression or your body language, and they're going to go off the deep end. And I feel like there's something about you no longer having to walk on eggshells. I seen this comment on a video I was watching earlier, this person said, "I haven't been walking on eggshells. I'm having to walk on glass." And I feel like there's something about that, like that visual, like when you're around them, you almost feel like you're walking on glass. Like there is no right way to walk on it because you're going to end up getting cut somehow. And I feel like this person could be being removed out of your life right now, but you don't even understand how deeply they are correlated to your unregulated nervous system. I feel like this could definitely be a parent, because a parent is the only one I know that has this much like tether on your identity. But I feel like they've affected you so significantly that when you walk through life, in every situation, in every area, you are constantly on eggshells, and it is rooted in this parental wound. It also draws me back again to this ancestral celebration that's going on. Because this could be a behavior or relationship that's been passed down throughout the line, and you are the first one to break it. Which is why it's so heavy, it's so hard, and sometimes it feels so wrong because it's big. It's big. And you didn't receive any help with it. Like I said, a lot of, because of the nature of how this person is in this relationship, you've likely been told that you were outright wrong for leaving them or for no longer wanting to contact or engage with them, because you are one of the only people that sees it. And you may not even be the only person that sees it, but you're the only one that's brave enough to speak against it. I hope you understand how colossal of a deal this is. Like, and please, please do not go back. It's okay to think about it. It's okay to, entertain the thought. But then I need you to round that thought around, what is it really doing? What is it really helping? If you go back and you start up this toxic relationship that you've had with them for your entire life, who is that serving? It's doing nothing but furthering their narcissistic cycles, and it is punishment and abandonment to yourself. Don't do it. We got the Emperor, and that is your energy, and this card has been coming out a lot lately because you are popping your proverbial shit. You are. There's something about you that is very earthy. You could be an earth sign. There's something about, which is so interesting, people look at you and they automatically assume that you just are the most level-headed person. You never crash out. You never have intense emotions that are, very up and down. This is how the public sees you, as this emperor sort of energy. Even though in silence, you could definitely deal with a lot of emotional ups and downs. But what I mean by this being funny is because, drawing back to what I just said a minute ago about whoever this person was being tethered to you feeling so unregulated a lot of the time and on edge a lot of the time, I feel like the way that you present and the energy that you are able to give other people, and the way that you're able to ground other people, however this is, through conversation, it could be through like touch, there could be something specific, significant about the way you hug that kind of grounds people. And I feel like it comes from you being so aware of what it looks like to be on edge and unnerved, that you are really able to step out of your own anxiety into this more grounded space and help other people ground in their own energy. And I mean, that is a beautiful gift. That is a really beautiful gift. I feel like there could be something significant about you teaching, you in a leadership sort of role, something that you didn't necessarily expect yourself to be in, but something that is going to be so suited for you that it does not feel like work. It just feels like life. It just feels like living. It just feels like flow. It feels as natural to you as breathing. It feels as automatic to you as blinking. Like, there's just something about it that is just so you, about whatever this position that you're stepping into right now, this energy that you're embodying. Green could be significant. I'm hearing, I see money all around me. I look like I'm the man, but I was down and out like last week. Tell me, where have you been? You came out of hiding, girl. Don't act like I'm a fan. Don't act like I'm your man. You just a fan. You don't hold right. Be careful with people acting like you owe them something because you've known them your entire life. I feel like there's something significant around your money. Like money is going to be going up this year. Do not focus too much on current events and the news and the things that it's only going to lower your vibration. You'll find out what's necessary. But you need to be very careful about the content that you're consuming, because you are in such a, I'm hearing like fertile sort of state right now that is very easy for you to manifest. And that means that you can easily manifest the things that you don't want as well. So it's very important for you to be conscious on what you're consuming as far as music, media, movies, shows, all that good stuff. Scrolling. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Choices, choices, choices. Choices and options. You're going to have choices and options coming out of nowhere. You got, 3 major arcana here. You be having some major changes come up in your life. And it's all because you broke a pattern. You broke out of a cycle, out of a habit that's been haunting you for a lot of your life. Oh, one just popped out. We'll leave her out. I have a hard time counting Roman numerals. I believe this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I can just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Wands. Yeah, you could have options coming in. And they could be related to creativity, to your passions. You're going to have some choices to make, some things to choose from. Nothing heavy, though. All good things. Like, do you want this job offer or that job offer? You know, sort of thing. Like, do you want this car or that car? Do you want this house or that house? But you're going to get the blessing either way. It's just which sort of one do you want to have? And I don't believe you're not really used to this energy. But just know that you're deserving of it. And that you don't need to perform. You don't need to do anything extra to prove that you're worthy of it. You've gone through the test, the trials, and the tribulations. And this is the natural progression of that path. Be careful with the usages of punishment and reward at this time. You know, because it's sort of like a double-edged sword when you use the word reward, because naturally, because it's based on, it's also connected to punishment. You couldn't have reward if it wasn't for punishment. I feel like there's something significant about you being careful about rewarding yourself. You know, just treat yourself well simply for the sake of treating yourself well. Don't say that you're rewarding yourself. Because there's something that is tied to you feeling like you need to prove, or that you need to be deserving of a reward. You need to be deserving of rest, or a night out. Like, you don't need to reward yourself. That's just you treating yourself well. Just be mindful of that when you get into that cycle of reward and punishment. And then 4 of Wands. You have someone come in. I love that we're ending it like this. You could have someone come in, someone that wants to celebrate with you. And you could both kind of just got out of this space or made this sort of pivotal revelation. I'm hearing manna from heaven. They could feel like water in a desert. I'm also hearing cup runneth over. They could be very abundant. And not just in money, but in wisdom and knowledge and peace and love and kindness. I'm hearing you can help balance each other. There's something about like co-regulation. I feel like you both could kind of feel like you're like waiting on each other right now. You're waiting for each other. It's like an energy of like, how long are you going to make me wait? Not that much longer. Good things come to those that wait. Stomach is making all types of noises. We're going to do four oracle. My dog does not like the sound of shuffling. Chicken Little. I don't like the sounds of certain stuff though either. Nails on a chalkboard. Never allow yourself to be taken for granted. It is better to remove yourself from the situation than to be treated less than you deserve. You are precious. You are worthy. Screenshot it, lovely. Don't be the person that plays in your own face. Number 2, if you think you are alone, you are not. We are beside you in all of the challenges that you face. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome of every situation. We have your best interest at heart. We love you. I don't give a rat's hairy brown behind how bleak any given situation looks. There is always a solution. There's always a solution. That's why I love learning about quantum physics, because it makes you really realize that we're like in this distorted reality, that none of this is real. And that it's all very much like a video game. And when you embrace that and you realize that you're literally a sim and you can create your own reality however you want it to look, it just may take time to come in, because time is also an illusion. I don't know, I just love my way of like thinking and looking at life, because it just makes the bad moments easier, because I just realized like, oh, this is definitely for a reason. And to whom much is given, much is required. Sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. Yeah, I don't know who this is that you just cut off, but a round of applause for you. Seriously. It's so funny. These readings are always definitely like mirrored energy. And I definitely just cut off my communal narcissist, who is my mother. And that was very difficult, but very necessary. And when I tell you that I've experienced a freedom like I have never experienced in my life, and it shows. And I think the biggest way that it shows is like when I dance, like I don't care how you are perceiving me or like judging me. And of course it's going to be a process, and there might be like some ebb and flow within it. But I also, announced that I was doing Reiki, and that was a big deal because my mother is extremely, 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 extremely religious, very Christian now. And I already knew that she was going to perceive that as going up against her beliefs and therefore going up against her. But what I've realized is that a lot of the time with our parents, they aren't really concerned with, God disowning us. Like, they're more so concerned with the world disowning them. Like, they understand how connected our relationship is with them. And so a lot of the times when they call you a disappointment, it's not because they actually see you as a disappointment. They are afraid of you being disapproved of by the world, and therefore that being a disapproval of them. Like, she had made a big deal about, an outfit I was wearing and saying that it was displeasing to God, but it wasn't displeasing to God. She was concerned about how the perception of what I was wearing made her look as a parent. Even though I'm a grown adult, I'm 27 years old, going to be 28 this year. The concern was not about me being displeasing in the eyes of God, who we were brought into this world naked. It was about me not being a good enough representation of her to the world. And therefore, her being disapproved of through me being disapproved of. And that's why it's just important to continuously remind yourself that nothing is personal. Anything we deal with is a self-reflection. Any anger or hatred that is projected onto you is simply a anger and a hatred that a person is giving to them own selves, and you are the secondary sort of, I don't know how to say it, like, person for that to flow through, because they can't be honest with themselves, so they project it onto you and make it seem like it's a you issue when really it's a them issue. Last card. You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every few minutes to see if it was growing. So why do you keep questioning yourself, your hard work, and your decisions? Have patience and stop overthinking and keep watering your seeds. There's nothing you need to do, no one you need to be, nowhere you need to go, no thoughts you need to have, no obsession you need to keep obsessing over to bring this in. It's already on its way to you. And again, time is an illusion, so it's already here. It's just grounding within this reality. Is starting to come into fruition, and you'll see it come up in different ways, but there's nothing else that you need to do. This full moon, I didn't do a ritual. I went to a dance class, because I feel like the purging had been the entire early part of this year. And I feel like that could be significant for you. Just like not feeling like you need to sit down and rack your brain about what are my issues and what do I need to continue to work on. I feel like there's something about you trying to, I'm hearing, bake, frost, and decorate the cake all at once, so that you don't have to go back and like fix anything else. I feel like there's something about you wanting to fix all of your trauma in this current moment so that you don't have to deal with it anymore, but that's not the way life works, right? There's certain things that are going to continue to come up. Think the repressed memories that don't come up until you're in a situation where it's like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing for me. So you can let that go. I'm sorry to tell you, because I understand. I really wish it was that way. Like, I really do. But it's not that way for a purpose, because everything has its time and its moment. And right now, whatever you've just worked through is the thing that needs to be worked through at this moment. But you don't need to start digging up stuff or looking for things that you feel like is wrong with you, because that's not productive. And you don't deserve that. But that's it. That's all. I'll send you guys off with all the love in the world. Have a good day.